Each year, approximately 34,598 people die by suicide. This picture behind me is a man who was a part of this number. 3 years ago, he took his own life. Suicide is among the leading causes of death in the U.S. according to the CDC. This can be caused by a series of things. Suicide can be related to several mental and physical issues, but it is also more common in some age groups, and there are many ways we can work towards prevention. We'll first explore the mental and physical issues. Let's start with the mental. Depression and anxiety. Depression is one of the most common signs of suicidal thoughts. This doesn't mean that they are suicidal, but it is definitely something that should be watched. Depression can often occur with medical conditions, bullying, or from being alone. This does not mean that depression cannot be caused by other aspects, because it most definitely can. The next mental issue we'll look at is anxiety. Anxiety can go hand in hand with depression. Most of those who suffer from depression suffer from anxiety as well. The majority of those who have attempted suicide have shown signs of depression or anxiety, or both. Let's go back to the picture. This man suffered from depression but did not show it. He went through a divorce, and this most likely contributed to his depression. From a physical standpoint is where we'll go next. Bullying and substance abuse. Bullied victims are between 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims, according to studies by Yale University. Suicide among younger individuals is usually linked to some type of bullying. This includes physical or verbal bullying or cyberbullying. Next, substance abuse. Substance abuse is a big instigator for suicide. About 20% of suicides have been involved with alcohol problems. Back to the man in the picture. He had a severe alcohol problem that led to his depression and eventual suicide. The number one thing to remember about alcohol is that it is a depressant and not a stimulant. Suicide can be common in more than one age group. Well, how common? Let's look at old age first. Suicide rates are highest in old age. This can be related to medical issues, loss of a loved one, or etc. According to mentalhealthamerica.net, 20 to 40% are in ages 60 and over. After this age, the completed suicide rate is at least 3 times higher than average. Over age 80, the rate is 6 times higher. The older a person gets, the more suicide is thought about. Now we'll look at young age. Suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death in individuals between the ages 10 to 24, according to the CDC. This can tie back into bullying. Another cause of this could be the pressure to be perfect from social media. Each year, approximately 149,000 youth between the ages of 10 to 24 receive medical care from self-inflicted wounds. After examining the age groups affected by suicide, we can now work on prevention. One of the main parts of working towards prevention is communication. This is one of the best ways to help someone who is showing signs of depression or suicide. While the person may not want to communicate, you can still talk to them. An effort is better than nothing. If the person is willing to communicate, listening is key. If it does not include listening, you could send the person a wrong message that you don't care. Another part of communication is cognitive and behavioral therapy. A person who is suicidal may not always agree to therapy. This is where communication can tie back in. Cognitive therapy includes talking about other ways to think about themselves and the world around them. Behavioral therapy includes methods that can help their problem solving, social skills, and anything that may reduce depression or anxiety. Prevention may not always work, but it can impact the way a person thinks. We now see that suicide can be caused by mental and physical issues, can happen in any age group, but more commonly affected by young and old age, and how we can work towards prevention. It is clear that we need more effective ways of prevention to help lower suicide from being one of the biggest leading causes of death. How can you contribute?